Unfortunately, the last time we took our Abarth out, it's developed a misfire. So today we're going to be trying to diagnose what the misfire is, where it's coming from, and how we can fix it. So first of all, what is a misfire? Well, essentially it means one or more of the cylinders isn't firing. This can be down to usually one of three reasons. We haven't got any spark, we haven't got any fuel, or we haven't got any compression on that cylinder. Now, I think the problem on this is going to be the spark plug or the coil pack. So that'll be we haven't got any spark. But there's an easy way to diagnose this, and I'll show you how to do it now. You can, of course, use an OBD reader to scan the car, which will tell you there's a misfire, but most OBD readers won't actually tell you what cylinder it's on. It will just say a misfire. So we can actually diagnose which cylinder it's on today. Hopefully it's just one, and then we can rectify the problem. First of all, let's take a listen to the car and you'll hear what the misfire sounds like. As you can hear, it's pretty lumpy. It's not good. So the first step is to diagnose which cylinder the misfire is actually happening on. I believe it is only one by the sound of it. If it was more than one cylinder, the car would be running a lot more lumpy than it is. So to do this, we've got 4 coil packs on the top of the engine here, each with an electrical connector on the back of them. What we can do is run the engine and disconnect each coil pack one by one. We should hear a drop in the engine's RPM and another misfire develop if that coil pack is working. We can then plug it back in. Once we get to a cylinder, when we unplug it and nothing changes, we know that that cylinder is not firing anyway, so that is the problematic one. So let's do that now. So first off, we'll go for cylinder 1. And straight away you can hear a change in engine tone, so that one's all good. We'll plug that back in. Cylinder 2. Again, we can hear a change in tone. We'll plug that back in. That's running good again. 3. No change there. So there was no change on cylinder 3. So we know there is an issue with this cylinder. We're going to check 4 anyway, just to see if there's any more issues, but we know cylinder 3 does definitely have a problem. And now cylinder 4. Yeah, again, that's dropped RPM, so we know cylinder 4 was good. We'll plug that back in. So we know 3 is the problem. Let's turn the car off for a sec. Okay, so now we've narrowed it down to cylinder 3 being the issue. Now there's a couple of things we can do here to determine whether it's the spark plug or the coil pack. As we know that 1, 2 and 4 are all firing and are all good, we can swap cylinder 3's coil pack with one of these cylinders. If the misfire moves to the cylinder we've swapped it to, we know that the coil pack is the issue. If the misfire stays on cylinder 3 once we've swapped the coil packs, we know the coil pack is good, and then we can check the spark plug instead to see if that's the problem. So let's change the coil packs over first. So I'll undo the bolt on the 3rd coil pack, this being the one that we know is the problematic cylinder. And as we know 4 is good, we're going to undo 4 as well. Disconnect the electrical connectors, and we'll swap these coil packs over. So 3 is now going on 4, and 4 is going on 3. Now we can plug them back in, and we'll bolt them down securely. Okay, so now that we've swapped over the coil packs on cylinders 3 and 4, we can do the same test again with the engine running. We don't need to worry about 1 and 2 as we haven't touched them and we know they were all good. So the misfire before was on cylinder 3. If it's now on cylinder 4, we know that it was the coil pack that was the issue. If it remains on cylinder 3, we know that the coil pack was actually all good, and we can then go further and check if it's the spark plug or not. Okay, so now we've started the engine back up and we still have a misfire as expected, but now we're going to see if it's still on cylinder 3 or if it has moved to cylinder 4. So let's disconnect cylinder 3. There's no change. So we now have a new coil pack, well, a working coil pack on this cylinder, and it's still not changing, which would indicate that it's actually not the coil pack that's the problem. Just to double check, let's disconnect 4 as well. I'd now expect this to cause another misfire, because we know this coil pack, yeah, there we go. Right, so all 4 coil packs are working. So that means all 4 coil packs are good. So we're now going to pull out coil pack number 3 so that we can remove spark plug number 3, as we suspect that's the issue, and we can swap that one over. Right, so now we're going to undo the coil packs from 3 and 4 as we did before, remove them, and then we can remove the spark plugs from 3 and 4. We'll swap those over, put them back, put the coil packs back. This time we would expect the misfire to move from 3 to 4. And if it does, that means that the spark plug is at fault. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's the coil packs out. Now it's time for the spark plugs. So we can see here that the third spark plug not only is quite black, but it's wet. It's wet because there's fuel on this spark plug, because that cylinder hasn't been firing. So fuel has been going into the cylinder, but has not been igniting. This is a good sign, because that means it more than likely is the spark plug and not going to be an injector or a compression issue, because it means we do have fuel. Let's swap the spark plugs over and take a look. Okay, this one's nowhere near as wet. We'll put this into number 3. This one back into number 4. Replace the coil packs. Pop the bolts back in for the coil pack. Quickly tighten those back down. Okay, so now we've got our coil packs back in and our spark plug swapped over. So what I'd expect to see now is the misfire has moved from cylinder 3 to cylinder 4. If this does happen, we know the spark plug was at fault, and then we can sort that out after. So we've got the engine running again, still a misfire. So now let's unplug cylinder 3 and see what happens. Right, okay, so we've now got another misfire on cylinder 3, which means it should have moved to cylinder 4, so we should see no change when I unplug this one. Yep, that is unplugged and there is no change, which means the spark plug that was in cylinder 3 and is now in cylinder 4 is at fault. Let me turn the engine back off for a sec. Okay, so now we've diagnosed the issue. We know that all 4 coil packs are in fact good, and actually it was the spark plug that was in cylinder 3 and is now in cylinder 4 that is at fault. So all we're going to do today is swap all 4 spark plugs, and to be on the safe side, these coil packs haven't been changed for a while anyway, so we're going to change those out as well, as we need to remove them to get to the spark plug, so it makes sense to do it all in one go. We've already done a previous YouTube video showing you how to do this, so if you want to see that, just click the link in the description below and it will take you straight to it. For more Abarth content, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.